Welcome to Option Trades Today. I'm Tony the Baptiste, and I've got a trade idea for you today. Well, and something you might be familiar with. I'm talking about SPX, and it is December 22nd, 2022. And if I don't get the opportunity to, I want to wish everybody a very happy Christmas and a wonderful new year. But let's take a look at this trade before we get to a lot of emails that I've been getting about the Santa Claus rally. So let's take a look at that now if we can. We're going to take a look at SPX, as I said. Why SPX? Well, I've got positions. You know what I like to do. I like to go to the IVX 5-day change. I like to change it to the ones that have the highest implied volatility. But I got a lot of emails today, and actually, last couple of days while we were off about a possible Santa Claus rally and how would I play it. And I don't think I don't think there's any better way to play it than what I'm going to show you in a moment here. In a trade that's been probably my most successful trade of 2022. And what I'm probably going with here, if you followed my podcast, I'm talking about a broken wing butterfly in SPX. And I will get to those strikes for just a moment, but let's go to the setup. First of all, the market selling off and at its lows or its most recent lows over the last week or so. Certainly not anywhere near the lows that we had back in November or so when we were down around 3,500 on SPX. We're 3,800 right now, but we are near the lows that we made a few days ago. Does that mean anything to me? It doesn't mean too much unless I've got a good IV rank. And 23 is not that great in SPX. So I've got to take that into consideration when I make this trade. I'm going to take that into consideration by making the trade either smaller sized or smaller units, meaning number of contracts. And I decided to do about 50% of what my normal size is in SPX. Now it's going to be a big capital intensive size. So why am I reducing my size? Well, I don't have the high IV rank that I want. Yes, it's been upticking ever so slightly. Yes, it's been upticking, I believe, over the last couple of days. Let's take a look at it. It's basically unchanged. Yeah, down 0.5 percentage point, even though volatility /VX is up near its highs. But it's only up near its highs over the last day or so. We're not back up above the 25 or maybe approaching 28. So this is not typically the time I would put on this trade, but I'm putting it on because we want to play the Santa Claus rally. I listen to your comments on YouTube. I do my best to try to incorporate the trades that you want to see. I know you want to see some smaller size trades. And if you do want to see some smaller size trades, you can tune into our show on Wednesday when we do Johnny trades at 9:30 Central Time. Tom and I go over trades that Nick Batista brings on to us, and you can see those trades. This is going to be a little bit more capital intensive. Bear with me. You can always do it in SPY. Remember, it'll be 1/10 the size and also 1/10 the amount of credit too. So what trade am I looking at in SPX with volatility expanding and the market actually capitulating down 72, trading at or around its lows? I'm going to go into SPX. Could you do this in /ES? Yes, you most certainly could. I just like the markets in SPX myself. That's just for me. Now, my other quandary, what am I going to do? Am I going to go to January or am I going to go to February? Now, you should be thinking yourself about the way I was just speaking about the overall market. IV rank not extremely high or as high as I want it to be. I'd love to see this in the 30s or the 40s in SPX. So it's about half of what I really want to see. So I'm going to take a little bit more or less risk. I'm going to take a little bit more of a conservative view. I'm not going to take the daily risk of only 28 days. I'm going to go to the risk of 56 days. I'm going to go to February on here. I'm going to go down to around that 15-ish delta option. I'm going to go down to around the 35 10 put. I'm going to go to the 35.10 put, and I like to go $50 wide. I like to risk one to make one. So I'm buying the 35.10 put. I'm going to sell two. If I'm going to go $50 wide, I'm going to go down to the 34.60 put. I'm going to go down to the 34.60 put and sell two of those. I'm buying one of the 35.10s, selling 2 of the 3460s. That's $50 wide. 50 plus 3460 is 3510. So I must go $100 wide to risk one to make one. Why do I say risk one to make one? I'll get to you right now. I'm going to buy the 3360 put one time, and you'll see the mid price is 320. I was filled at 320 on this trade. It has about an 89% pop. It's got 1.68 long deltas. Now look, when you beta weight it to SPY, like I said, it's 10 times the size. It's long just about 17 deltas because it's long 1.7, I'll round up, deltas in SPX. In SPY, it's going to be 16.85, just about 10 times the size. About $7 a day in theta decay. My max profit, I did this at 320. My max profit is actually going to be what? Well, you can see it right here on the screen, $5,320. That's if we pin 3460 56 days from now. Now, I'm not playing for a 3460 pin, but you can see it is beneath those lows that we made earlier this year. Is that significant to me? No, but you know what? You sometimes like to see it. People want to see it on the chart. Where my break even is, that's where my break even is. The market would have to be making new lows in the next 56 days. Is that possible? Sure. Well, that's not just my 3460 is not just my break even. It's my max profit. My break even is actually all the way down around 34. I'll round up against me 3410 or so. Really, my break even is 3410 minus $3.20. Let's just round up and say 3407 is my break even. And you can see that that pop of around 90% corresponds with the 10% chance of SPX trading and staying down there over the next 56 days. Now, we talk about probably a profit. You know, selling this at 320, we're talking about buying it at $3.19. The probability of making 1 penny, not the whole 320. So what am I really looking to make on this trade? Well, I'm looking for the market to have a small little bounce. Here you go for that Santa Claus rally. If you're playing for a Santa Claus rally, I want the stock to rally a little bit. If I get that bounce back to where we were just yesterday or this morning, this spread will come in by at least $1 or so. If we continue to go lower and volatility continues to uptick, you know, you'll lose that buck and a half to the downside. But as you saw on the spread that I put on in Tesla, which was a 1/2 ratio spread, very similar to this broken wing butterfly that I'm putting on. Let's put up the trade for you. I'm sorry. This broken wing butterfly I'm putting on for you. You've got this embedded long put spread in here. And when you have this embedded long put spread, it kind of reduces the velocity of the downside movement. So here is an omnidirectional trade. My assumption is we go higher. I'm okay if we go lower. It is a very wide trade. It does use 40, let's just round $4,700 in buying power. Again, you can make this 1/10 the size and do it in SPY. Again, you'd be collecting 32 cents instead of $3.20. You certainly would be holding that spread probably through the duration of the expiration, right? You'd probably be a little bit more neutral to bearish to put this trade on an SPY because it's not going to move enough, 10, 15 cents. It's not going to move enough for you to be worthwhile, pay for commissions, put that trade on. But it is a decent downside, cheap way of buying some downside risk if you're looking for that in like an SPY. And then you'd be able to make $500 in change on that trade on a limited amount of $460 worth of risk. All right, that's my trade for you today in SPX. I hope you've been following along with some of the other trades we did. I adjusted my Tesla trade today, which I just spoke about a moment ago. I adjusted my Apple trade today. Those are the two biggest losing trades I have on from my podcast. If you noticed the last couple of days when I was out, I closed my CRM trade for a nice profit, and I also closed my target trade for a nice profit. So also from the podcast that we've done here. Hey, listen, I appreciate all your comments. Please keep them coming on YouTube if you're watching this. I read them all. I try to respond to most. I give a thumbs up to just about everybody that writes just about anything. Please subscribe to the channel. I love it. And you know what I'm going to ask you for now. No better time than the end of the year to transfer or move your account. Or hey, open up an account at tastyworks.com. Take advantage of all of those perks. Hopefully this market will turn around a little bit today. We'll make a quick buck on this trade. That wouldn't be so bad for a little Christmas cheer. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm Tony Batista. Listen to us on Tasty Live. I love your support. And if you listen to us on the podcast, I really enjoy your support too. Thank you.